Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I should welcome myself back as well because it's been like 4 months since I last uploaded a video. Today I want to talk to you about my portfolio, my returns last year, and I just want to give a DGOC update as well because we have seen the full year results. So that's in store today, but I first want to start with why you haven't heard anything from me. So what kept me busy? That's basically the question. And well, it was basically 60-hour work weeks, and I'm still on that. Very long weeks, and they'll be like that for the rest of March as well. But after that, I should have some more time, and then I think I can go back to the regular schedule. Besides that, I've also been busy with the Dutch investing group. It's a small group that we just do research twice a month together. We have one-on-one conversations, we have intakes and all that. So all in all, it's very time intensive, but I'm loving it. So that's really good as well. But regardless, you only have so much time in a week, and yeah, you have to divide it. And then that obviously has my priority. But as I just mentioned, I expect to be back to my normal schedule in April. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I do have some changes in store as well, but I'll get to that now. Because I have some new plans. So I really have to get used to the whole recording again, by the way. So don't mind me. But my first plan is that the YouTube channel will turn into a Dutch YouTube channel. I noticed that it just is too time consuming to do it in 2 languages. Like one, the investor group, and on the other hand, the YouTube channel in English. It's just too time consuming, and it would be a lot better if I have something worked out and I can also share that on my YouTube channel. So this will be the last video in English, and after that I'll be switching to Dutch. I think won't change much for most people because I think like 70-80% of the people that are on my channel are Dutch. So all in all, it shouldn't be that big of a difference for most. I've also been writing monthly written investing ideas. It's like a little bit of a research report, but like only the beginning, so not in depth. You can subscribe to that, or you can just read it. I'll also share it in the YouTube channel every now and then. But I will leave a link in the comment below just to make sure that you know where to find these monthly written investing ideas. I've written 2 so far, and I expect to write more every month from April onwards. And well, with my new plan come also the goal to deliver regular content. I still want to make sure that whenever I share something, it is valuable. So that will be my top priority. But other than that, I do want to focus more on the YouTube channel and make sure you guys get the value you deserve. So what I'm going to talk about in this video, I already mentioned it a little bit in the start. I'm going to start with my returns over 2020. I will follow that up with a portfolio update, so you get to see which stocks I currently own, and I'll also tell you what I plan on buying. And I will end with a small DGOC update. So let's start with my returns. I didn't expect to receive these returns that you're about to see, which is 17.5%. It's a pretty decent return. I beat the market last year. The global index, at least from a euro perspective, that's my comparison. And I also compare it to the Dutch index AEX, but I beat both by a substantial margin. But obviously it's just 1 year, so it doesn't really say much, but I'm planning on keeping track for it for the next decade and then see if I actually did beat the indexes that I'm comparing myself to. This number, I didn't expect to reach it, as I just mentioned as well. Why? Because as of October 2020, my returns overall were still minus 10%. And basically, the moment the vaccine news hit, that is when I started to get back on track, and I got the negativity out pretty quickly, and after that it kept slowly increasing. So all in all, that was a good event for me, or for my portfolio, and I guess for the population in general as well. So win-win, I'd say. So that amounts to this schedule. Like, I've only been keeping track of it since 2019, before I even started a YouTube channel. And here you see my returns so far as well. Like, I've measured it until the 1st of March for 2021. Something I would like to add to these returns, though, is that I do use leverage, but I do not use it in my return calculation. So my absolute return should be higher, but since I expect to use leverage if I was investing in an index fund as well, I feel like this is just a better comparison. So all in all, I'm happy with these results, and 2020 was an unexpected result for me because I really did expect to end with negative returns there, and I wouldn't have minded that much because I'm still in my buying phase, so I'm just adding to these positions that I'm losing money on. So all in all, it's not that bad. So portfolio update. I'm just going to share everything with you instantly. Many familiar names like DGOC shouldn't come as a surprise. International Airlines Group, no. John Menzies, Criteo. Capital and Counties, also pretty familiar name if you have followed my YouTube channel. A new feature is the Unibail Rodamco Westfield. I've been slowly adding to that position, and as the news came that, well, I'll be making a separate video on that in the future, in Dutch of course, but I feel like there were changes there that were for the better, substantially, and I think that it has a lot of room to grow from the current price point of 70 euros. Then we have Gazprom. I added a little bit to it, but I think that was like somewhere in November last year. Porsche Automobile Holding is basically Volkswagen. It's slowly been increasing this year. Good news. I don't expect to add more to this position, but I won't be selling it either. I think from this point on, it should give me my expected return of 15% per year for the next 10 years probably. Then at the end of last year, I bought British American Tobacco. I just feel like this company is currently undervalued with the dividend yield of about 8%, and the moat that they have, it's just insane that it's currently trading at that price. I do not intend to add more to this position, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do in the future. And obviously I'll let you guys know when I do. And then we have Turning Point Brands, slowly been increasing, up and down lately. It's a growth position. I do not intend to add more to it. It could just double in a matter of months, really, once it starts taking off. So I'm just going to keep it like this. Then we have Just Eat Takeaways, a new position as well that I added to last year. Really liking this company. I really like the challenges that they're facing and the way they're dealing with it. In general, I think they're on the right path. I think the CEO, Jitse Groen, is doing a very good job in basically combating the competitors and basically going all out war in the UK and all that. And I just think he's doing a phenomenal job, and I think we'll see that in the returns or in the growth prospects in the next few months as well, once those figures come out. Then I have Naked Wines. It's a new addition. I bought it at the complete top. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I really like this company. I do think it has some potential, but I still need to do more research on it. So I just opened a position to make sure that I have skin in the game, and then I look differently at the company. Palantir Technologies, well, that shouldn't come as a surprise. I'm still holding. I'm not adding to it. I feel like it could go up substantially. I think it can also go down substantially the moment they don't hit their growth numbers. So I feel comfortable with this percentage. I would add to it if it drops significantly, and I would consider selling a part of it when it increases substantially. I wouldn't sell it completely though. I think it's an amazing company, and I think it has a lot of growth potential in the foreseeable future, especially in the longer term. Let's say 5+ years from now. I think they can keep these growth rates for a long time. Then the final two positions, Salesforce, just a company I like. I think it's very sticky mode. It has dropped ever since they announced their acquisition. I do think they overpaid for that, but regardless, I think this is a very good company, and it's just because they overpaid, it actually means that there was a buying opportunity for me, and I took advantage of that. So I opened a small growth position of like 1%. And then we have Victoria Gold. This is one of the Dutch members that did like a 2-hour presentation on it, and it was like I was sold on the company. So this is a hedge position for me, and I think I'll be adding to that later on as well, but I just wanted to have some skin in the game already. But I really got a DGOC vibe from it, the way they were managing it, like not completely, but like some aspects were like, okay, they are actually running a financial business. They are thinking about it, and that's what's most important to me. Oh, well, DGOC, we'll get to that in a bit. Like 37%. If you check my previous videos, it has slowly been going down, not because I've been selling, but mostly because these other boys have been increasing. But I can tell you now that I am planning to add more to DGOC, and we're gonna get it like this again. So I'm gonna add a lot of money to DGOC if the current price holds for the next month or so. And why? Well, I guess some of it will be coming clear in this video, but not entirely. But Rusty Hudson did 2 interviews after they announced their full year results. With interactive investors, he mentioned that they are shopping in 2021. I like to see acquisitions. I like the way they are acquiring stuff. I like how they run their model and all that. You guys know that. And the fact that they're shopping in 2021 is just a very good sign to me. And he mentioned something in the Yellowstone advisory webinar as well. He mentioned that we'll create a huge dent in Oaktree's $1 billion this year. And what does that mean? Well, if you remember, the deal is like deals of over 250 million, they have to include Oaktree capital in it. What does that mean is that if they can acquire something of that amount, then they have to discuss it with them, and then Oaktree would like to pay half of it so that they can invest alongside DGOC. And the fact that he intends to create a huge dent in it could mean that we could see a big acquisition. So all in all, that's very good. They made new sheets as well. And I've went through this a million times with you guys already. Like the company is not changing, it's only getting better in my opinion, and more robust. But they added 2 new sheets, and I would like to just get through that real quick. This one is about midstream delivers additional value. So as you guys know, they are also acquiring midstream assets, not just upstream. So not just production, but also the pipelines and all that. And because they acquire pipelines, it has several additions, I guess, several benefits. One of them is that they have less expenses because they don't have to use other people's pipelines or other companies' pipelines. The other one is that they increase their revenue diversification. I think that is the most important part, but I like this one. They lowered costs substantially because they own midstream assets now, and they don't have to pay for the third-party usage anymore. I like this one as well. It's in this sheet they were basically showing, okay, what do we have to do to mitigate or compensate the production decline. So here you see that their production decline, which is normal in these kind of assets, but is 7%, and they are not doing any exploration, so they do not expect to increase those productions by finding a new gas field or something like that. So what they did is they were putting that decline, how much EBITDA do they lose? And here you see that they lose about 20 million EBITDA per year with this production decline. So what they then did is they looked at the acquisition multiple. This is times 4, but they acquire between 2 and 4, and the acquisitions we've seen in May were about 3.4. So this is worst case scenario if you look at the history of DGOC. And what they did is they checked what EBITDA would be needed to replace. So that's the 20 million we saw here. And that means that they will need to, for every 20 million EBITDA lost, they will need to pay 80 million in assets. and then it will start producing again. But they are levering it at 2.5 times, as you guys know. So it will require a 30 million cash funding to mitigate or compensate the loss. And if you check this cash funding and compare it to the adjusted EBITDA of 2020, then it's only 10% of the 2020. So of that EBITDA, we receive 40% in dividends, 20% is used to pay debt, and 40% is used for other stuff like acquisitions and all that. And in this particular case, that means that just 10% of this will be needed to mitigate the production decline. So all in all, it looks pretty stable, and it looks like this will continue to be a cash cow. All in all, I'm very excited for DGOC in the future that is ahead of us. We have seen price target or the price go up to about 130. Right now it's below 120 again, and if it stays that way, I'm thinking of buying a lot more than I've already had, because this is just like we're talking about a current dividend yield of 10% and a company that is making sure that they are just like a financial cash cow. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So all in all, it looks very good. En dan ga ik nu over op het Nederlands. Dat klinkt ook misschien gelijk wat anders. Dit is dus de laatste Engelse video en daarna ga ik dus over op het Nederlands. Dat betekent dat alle verzoeken die ik vanuit het verleden van jullie heb gehad, die ga ik honoreren. Maar dan in het Nederlands. Dus ik weet dat ik voor Shell onderzoek, ASML komt eraan. Het zijn allemaal zaken die eraan zitten te komen. Ik moet nog wel even geduld hebben. En ik zal ook bepaalde video's van DGOC ook in het Nederlands maken, zodat het gewoon makkelijker is, dat je een samenvatting hebt en dat je weet hoe ik er naar kijk. Dus er zal ook wel wat herhalende content naar voren komen. Maar ik denk dat het wel belangrijk is om uiteindelijk gewoon een mooi, robuust Nederlands kanaal te hebben waar jullie veel waarde uit kunnen halen. Ik zoek graag de interactie op. Dus mocht je het einde van deze video hebben gehaald, dan weet je dat. En dan zou ik het tof vinden als jullie je vragen en dergelijke en je wensen gewoon in de comments laat weten. Of zoek me op per e-mail op mijn website of Twitter of Discord. Ik bedoel, als je bekend, dan weet je dat ik op zich makkelijk te bereiken ben. En geef gewoon je wensen door en ik probeer daar, sowieso geef ik op alle vragen antwoord, want ik wil gewoon leergierigheid stimuleren. Dus iedere vraag die je hebt, daar geef ik antwoord op. En ik denk de mensen die dat in de comments al hebben gedaan in het verleden of in deze periode ook, die even tussendoor een vraag stellen, die weten dat ik dan vrij snel reageer. Ook al heb ik het druk. Dus dat gaan we er gewoon in houden. Maar neem niet weg dat het voor mij ook belangrijk is dat jullie wensen vervuld worden. Dus ik sta open voor allerlei content ideeën. Dus heb je een bepaalde wens, geef het aan me door. En dan hoop ik dat ergens in april, mei in een mooie video te gieten. Dank jullie wel voor jullie aandacht. En ik zie jullie in de volgende Nederlandse video.